The Monster Hunter Wilds team over at Capcom has been gracing us with daily weapon overview videos, providing neatly packaged around 1 minute long weapon overviews, containing details of the skills and attacks of the weapons and how they'll play in Wilds. Today we're going to take a look at the Lance overview, watch through the trailer together, analyze all of the separate components, and then I'll leave the trailer in its entirety for you folks to go and watch again if you like. I'm Light It Up Dan, and the sort of content I love to produce aims to reduce the overwhelm and unknown of the Monster Hunter games. I've been providing these analyses in long form and short form for the weapon overviews. Once you're done with the Lance, you may want to catch some of the others. Very quickly, a massive thank you to those of you who've really turned up and gotten us to around 80% of unsubscribed viewers on the channel, with the majority of you returning. If you enjoy the videos, do subscribe. I'm aiming for 50%. And with that said, let's jump in. First, we'll watch through the trailer with minimal input from myself. Then we'll watch it through again with all the analyses, dissecting the whole thing. And then I'll leave it in its entirety for you folks to watch through once more. All right, let's go. Let's go. The Lance. Big, scaly. Sort of like your mother's dildo. I take that back, I'm sorry. Block, regular block. Water elemental. Mid-thrust combo. New mid-thrust finisher. Shield bash counter. Uppercut. Mid-thrust counter. Charge. Focus strike. Wounds pop. Charging parry. Jumping mid-thrust and clash attack there to finish us off. So we've got our overview, we've got our bullet points. Yeah, of everything. I think it looks really sick. I think it looks great. Let's break it all down. Let's dissect it all piece by piece, analyze everything that we've seen over here, and go from there. Again, most of my comparisons and knowledge that I'm drawing from is from World rather than Rise or any of the other games. I have started playing Rise. I've only played a couple of weapons. I'm not super far in. So most of my comparisons are going to be drawing from World. And this is like the successor to World anyhow, for the most part. So first things first. First thing for us to pick apart over here is the aesthetics of the gear. Very metallic, very scaly looking weapons. And we've also seen that it seems to be water elemental. Now, this looks to me like it could be from that Leviathan scaly monster. What's it called? The Balahara. This looks like it could be the Balahara's gear, right? Somewhat serpent-like, but not really serpent-like. More lizard-like, you know? I get this slithery feel from it, from the aesthetics, from the design. The slight spiral on the lance there. It does give me that vibe, that like slithery kind of vibe. So this could be the Balahara's gear. It might not be. It might not be at all. But it certainly could be. Rather than just like the ore gear, the metal gear, you know? But very, very cool. That looks good. Okay, top class defense. This is our regular block, the regular guard. There's a blue glow going into the regular guard. Do you notice that? Now, I don't think the regular guard ever used to have that. But there's a blue glow going into it. Slight, very slight. And that is typically the strongest block. Now, the mid-thrust combo over here. We see the triple mid-thrust combo over here. And we see splashes of water. Splashes of, like, water elemental coming out at each hit as well. So, well, the weapon's water elemental, we can assume. That might mean Balahara is kind of water elemental, which would make sense if this is Balahara gear, right? Given that it spews those, like, slicks, those, like, those salvos, right? Could well be. But we see the mid-thrust combo here, the triple mid-thrust combo. You love to see it with a water elemental. Splash, 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 triple mid-thrust combo. And really importantly, between the hits of the mid-thrust combo, the hunter is sidestepping, is strafing as they're going, keeping in theme with this additional mobility and flexibility that we're seeing with all these different weapons. Sword and shield, longsword, all these different things, right? And it seems like the lance has that as well, the sidestepping between the attacks. Tons of mobility, and the hops are still there, but the sidestepping. Now we see a different finisher That triple like uppercut there at the end of the mid thrust combo finisher there. The first time they do it, they just go through the triple mid thrust combo. They just go through, hop, reset it, start again. Second time through, they explicitly finish it with a different attack with a finisher. So what it seems like may have happened was 2 hits on the mid thrust combo, mid thrust 1, mid thrust 2, and then did the upwards thrust. And because it was the third hit in the combo, it activated some sort of finisher, right? That's what it looked like to me. That triple hit, so good. A blink and you'll miss it. Where's my mouse gone? Why does it keep disappearing? Blink and you'll miss it. A really quick counter guard. And this time, instead of a counter guard going into a lance thrust, like it did in World, it's just a really, really fast, powerful, impactful shield bash there. Take a look. So quick. So quick. And it's got so much impact to it as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn. I'm hoping that unleashes, that deals like a ton of stun. I'm hoping we can get really good KOs off that. That might mean that the previous counter guard has gone. The one where you counter it and then quickly do the lance thrust. That one might be gone. It might just be the shield one. Maybe you've got a choice. Maybe there's 2 different counter guards. We'll just have to see. Boosh. Then into the power guard. And we know that counter thrust, that like sort of upward counter thrust from power guard. But this time takes a few steps forward into a bit of an uppercut, right? A few steps forward into a bit of an uppercut there. So slightly different on the power guard counter thrust. Very cool. Sure you can. But then also a power guard into a mid thrust counter. So you do have you've got 2 different options of the counters from the power guard here. Right? That's what it looks like. There's a bit of a pause afterwards. I don't know. But that's kind of what it looks like to me at least. Yeah? Mid thrust counter. And we start the lance charge attack. And then we turn back on ourselves. U-turn into the wide sweep. So the running, charging, jousting without a horse attack is back. Yeah? Which is absolutely mental. It's always been nuts. But that's back. Focus mode. Doing the focus strike here. A big upwards shield bash. A running shield charge. Into a powerful thrust to finish us off. Which then consumes the wound. So it's a focus strike within focus mode. Right? Let's watch that again. Real fast. Shield bash up. And shield charge whilst holding it up. Powerful thrust. And the wounds are consumed. There. Wounds consumed. Around there. That, not so much, because I guess it didn't connect there. But around there, wounds consumed. Which you've seen from the bow video, will just be like pop, pop, pop. Big chunks of damage just popping, right? And you want to get the wounds back on. And then you want to pop them again, I suppose. But very, very cool there. Love that one. Love the impact of it. Very nice. Now, a charging attack with... I don't think it's necessarily with hyper armor. I think it acts as a parry. I think what happened there is it's unleashing the attack at the same time as the Doshiguma attacking, and Doshiguma gets repelled. Ergo, it's a parry rather than it being like a charge attack with hyper armor. It could be both. It could be one or the other. I'm getting the feeling, and with the effect that you see play out as well, the effect on the hit. But that could just be the water elemental, couldn't it? You know what? Either. It could be either. It could be the hyper armor through the charge attack, or it could be a parry. Because I don't think that was the parry effect. Now that I've just watched it again, I don't think that's a parry effect. I think that's the water elemental. So I'll maybe change my mind on that. Yeah, that looks like water. Then the running, jumping mid thrust, good for mounts. And a clash attack at the end. You know the clash grapples, the potentially QTE? Clash grapple at the end right there. Very, very cool. Oh my goodness. Overall, I think the changes here to Lance are quite subtle, and they're very much so building on top of a foundation rather than these big sweeping changes, which we've seen for some of the others. So things like bow, gun lance, hunting horn, they've had these big kind of sweeping changes, right? Lance feels very foundational, built on top of what's already there, with a few tweaks here and there. So something like Charge Blade or Greatsword would be a good example. But the additions, the changes they have implemented look really good. I love the sidestepping in between the different attacks. That feels really, really nice. I love the different combo finishes to the triple hit attacks. That's going to be super fun to experiment with. And all of the different counters we seem to have as well. They seem really exciting. Better mobility, more options to play around with. I love it, and I'm super stoked for it. Lance is one of my favorite weapons, and I've come away from this feeling pretty happy with the overview. How do you feel about Wilds' Lance? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. As mentioned at the start, a huge thank you for really turning up and getting us to around 80% of unsubscribed viewers on the channel, with the majority of you returning. If you enjoy the videos, do subscribe. I've been covering these weapon overview analyses with these long forms over here, but also the shorts too. So do keep an eye out for those if you are interested. And now here's the full overview with the audio on and without me talking all over it. Enjoy.